We're at the Fern Trust Distribution Center. Yes, packing house.
Packing house, yeah.
And here with David. Will you tell us a little bit about Fern Trust?
Well, Fern Trust is an agricultural marketing cooperative. Fern Trust doesn't actually own the ferneries, but it's owned by the growers who own the ferneries. So there's several different family farms that have came together and built Fern Trust to do all the harvesting, packaging, and marketing of the products they grow in their fields.
What role do you play in that, David?
I'm the executive vice president, so I kind of oversee a little bit of everything on the Fern Trust side. And then I also have my own farm where I grow foliages just like the rest of the family does too.
How many types of foliages would you say you grow?
Probably 70, 80 different varieties of foliages, various amounts of each one. Quite a few.
What's your favorite foliage?
I like Ludwig, of course. But there's a lot of good ones.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is family-run business. Various farms that come together, but your family is all in this business. Is that correct?
My family's all in it. My daughter works here. My two sister-in-laws work here. My brother is the one that's the manager of a big farm business. Plus, he manages growing on all the family farms together too. Jimmy Register.
Okay. And initially, your dad started this.
Well, my dad and I and two other families came together back in the late 80s to try to get together enough acreage where we could start to supply some of the markets in Europe. And to do that, each one of us alone was not big enough at the time. And so we banded together and formed Fern Trust to be able to effectively service the markets and big four importers that call it.
And so at this point, there's 3 generations having
there's 3 generations active in the business. My grandfather planted the original fern on our farm. The family farm actually goes back 5 generations right here close to the property we're standing on now.
So can we chat a little bit about, because I like hearing the story about your dad, how he's more on the science side of...
Yeah, my dad, he left, he went to college and got a degree in geology. Mm-hmm. And when he graduated from college and he started working at a mine in Tennessee, I guess he ended up getting a draft notice in the mail. Mm-hmm. And instead of going into the Army, he went and signed up for the Air Force. It was during the Vietnam War and all that. So he went in the Air Force, and since he had a science degree, even though it was in geology, they put him to work in a chemistry lab out in Texas. So he worked there. I don't know how many years, the whole time he was in the service. Right. They sent him back to school. Well, I guess they didn't send him back to school. He went, after he got out of the service, he went to work for a research company there called Southwest Research Institute, and they sent him back, and he got his master's in biochemistry, chemistry.
I think that's so interesting. And
then he worked in research there till I was 15 years old, and we moved back to Florida.
Right. And you initially had orange groves?
Yeah, we had orange groves and fern and a few cows. So.
And then that changed?
Yeah, and in the 80s, I guess 83, it wiped out all the citrus. Right. So it was kind of weird. It was one of the first times my dad had left me alone taking care of everything. And they went back to Texas on Christmas vacation with the whole family. And then the freeze of the century came. And it got down to like 6 or 8 degrees for, I don't remember, 3 days straight, I think. 60-something hours below freezing. And it froze all the orange groves. At one point, I called my dad and I said, you might want to go look for your old job back out there because I don't know if anything's going to be alive when you got back. Well, the fern survived, and we had a really good year in the fern that year. And with the help of a few disaster loans, this and the other, we expanded the fernery operation in the early 80s. And then in the late 80s, we started Fern Trust with 2 other families here in the area.
And now your Fern Trust is now a part of how many different entities?
I think we've got about 9 different entities now. It's mostly my family's and relatives and Publix from the Leon Springs. So.